love the sound of poetry because we've been having a blast showcasing several local poets for National Poetry Month. So what better way to wrap up this month than kind of passing on the torch to our newest Lansing Poet Laureate.
That is right. We are sitting with Ruelaine and Misaki. How are the both of you?
We are fine.
That is wonderful. We are even better now that we're sitting next to you. But Ruelaine, first I have to say congratulations.
Thank you.
How did it feel when you heard the news?
It was exciting. It was a surprise. It was, you know, I'd applied, but I didn't know that it was going to happen. And then I found it made me really happy. You know, so it's funny. It's sort of like being queen for a day, but it's going to last a bit longer than that.
Absolutely.
Yes, and your crown is going to shine for all of the 517. Talk a little bit, though, about your style of poetry. What does your creative style look like?
You know, the poems I write are all over the place. I think for me, when I started really writing poetry, I was fascinated by poets who read their poetry before audiences. So my poetry has a lot of sound effects, and it's musical, and sometimes it's very plain speech. You know exactly what I'm saying, and other times it's it's a little bit more mysterious.
Ooh, I like that. And really, there's no right or wrong way. Everyone's way of doing poetry is what speaks to them, and that's great that you get to share that with everyone. Now, Misaki, how does it feel to pass the torch on to Ruelaine?
Fantastic. Ruelaine has done a lot for this community, and being an ESL student, passing on to somebody who gave their entire lives into being an ESL teacher, it's ironic and also a full circle thing for me.
Yes. Oh, it's going to be so much fun to see this year of rain. Do you have any special plans for 517 during your time as the laureate?
One thing I love to do is bring more than one art form together, so I love to have performances that involve music and poetry, like the poetry of jazz, or visual art and poetry, have an exhibit with visual art and poetry, and maybe a performance. I love combinations. I'd love to do something called Found in Translation, where you're working with poetry in 2 or maybe more languages.
Ooh.
So I like combinations.
I love that. And Ruelaine, I cannot wait to see the fresh perspective and all these different elements that you just talked about. When you bring that here to the 517, and Misaki, how else would you like to see the poetry scene really around this community just continue to grow?
Just growing on the bigger shows, the features that we've been bringing, the economics of it all, and the accessibility.
Yeah, I think that's what we'll all love to see, and we are on the edge of our seats to continue to see this grow, and we're also on the edge of our seats because we're going to have you perform here on our Studio 10 stage. What poem will you be reading for us today?
Well, you know, I know a lot of people, but there are a lot of people in the greater Lansing area I don't know, so I thought I would read a poem called Let Me Introduce Myself.
Oh, I think that is just perfect. And so, well, we can't wait to hear that.
Absolutely. So don't go anywhere just yet because Ruelaine is up next on our Studio 10 stage. We'll be right back.